I recently had a customer tell me that my funfetti cake was the most delicious cake they'd ever had, so I'm going to share it with you. I like to have my recipe handy so I can refer to it throughout baking because no, I have not memorized every single recipe yet. Also, I have a question for you guys. Do you prefer to have the ingredients listed out on the screen or down in the caption, which is what I've been doing? Or do you prefer me to talk what I'm adding to the bowl as I'm adding it? For this recipe, you're gonna want to add all your dry ingredients to a bowl with a sifter on top like this so you can sift them all together really easily. Sifting the dry ingredients will help evenly distribute all the leveling agents so you get a more even bake, but it also aerates the flour, giving you a lighter, more tender, fluffy crumb. Now into a separate bowl, add all the wet ingredients. To bring your butter to room temperature, microwave it for 10-second intervals until it's soft to the touch. And you can put your eggs in a bowl of warm water and set them aside while you're preparing everything else. You're going to cream this together really well with a handheld mixer starting on low speed. And then once it's kind of mixed together and it's not going to fly everywhere, you can increase it to medium speed. The smoother and creamier you can get this step, the better the crumb of your cake is going to be. Any lumps of butter remaining will be little holes in your cake once it's baked, so get it as creamy as you can. This is about what it should look like, nice and smooth with no clumps of butter. For my funfetti cake, I use a clear vanilla as well as cake batter flavoring. You can use any vanilla you prefer, but I like the clear vanilla because it keeps the cake a little bit lighter in color. This recipe also uses a small amount of vinegar, which will help with the rising in the crumb of the cake, making it nice, fluffy, and tender. At this point, I realized I forgot to add the eggs, so definitely don't do what I do. Add them first before you add the flavoring and the vinegar. Add them one at a time until they're fully incorporated, mixing for about 10 to 20 seconds between each addition. Adding them one at a time just helps them incorporate into the batter better. Moving on, let's add the buttermilk now. At first, you're just going to add a small amount and mix it in really well with your handheld mixer. Once it's fully incorporated, then you're going to add about half of the dry ingredients and fold it in gently with either a spatula or a whisk. Mix this until just combined, then add the remaining buttermilk. You want to be very careful not to overmix your batter because doing that will develop too much gluten, giving you a really gross, gummy, rubbery texture, and no one wants that. Gently folding in the last of the dry ingredients until it's just combined. Next, you're going to mix in your rainbow jimmies. This recipe uses about half a cup and 3/4 of a cup at the most. Then pour it into your prepared pans and bake in the oven at 345 degrees for about 35 or 40 minutes or so, depending on your oven. This cake is so tender and soft